extend explaining Kanban boards, to start with a software development company who are working on mobile application development using a Kanban board with let's say they started with having, let's say, key columns, including the backlog or, let's say, the product backlog or the software features that's going to be implemented, which contains all of the tasks that needed to be done. So this one of the let's say the columns of the Kanban board or of the software development team. They also have um, came up with one of these following columns, which is called development, where the tasks being currently coded. After the development column, they implemented one of these stages, which is called testing, to ensure that the features are being tested for the quality checks. After testing stage, maybe they have implemented a deployment column where to show the features that is ready for release. And after that, they have implemented one of these columns, which is called done, for the completed work, which has gone through the development, the testing, and deployment, and it was released for the production phase. So they completed it, or they marked, or they moved it into the done section. By enforcing the work in progress limits, they prevent the developers has prevented from starting too many tasks at once, leading to higher focus and faster delivery. And again, when we talked about setting up an effective Kanban workflow, we say that to create an effective Kanban workflow, the team must have, let's say, define a clear stages based on their processes. In our example, we say that in our software development project, so the team has implemented the backlog stage, the development stage, the testing phase, the or stage, the deployment stage, and the done stage. So by having a clear stages based on their processes, the team has, let's say, have implemented an effective Kanban workflow. Also, the next step here is to minimize the complexity by avoiding too many workflow steps that could slow down the progresses. So you cannot just keep adding too many complex stages, that it could impact the team progress. Also, by ensuring a continuous flow, by moving the work steadily and regularly monitoring these flows from one stage to the next without any excessive delays. Finally, as I mentioned, that you need to have a regular review and optimize the processes to ensure the continuous improvement. So the team should hold retrospectives to refine their workflows and to make the processes more efficient. When we talked about limiting the work on progress, but why they matter. So the work on progress limits prevents the team from overloading themselves with too many tasks at once. Why they are important? It reduces the context switching, so the team can focus on completing tasks efficiently. By also following that work in progress limits principle, they prevented the bottlenecks, which identifies the problems area where the work is getting stuck. Also, it could improve the quality. With fewer tasks in progress, the team can give more attention to each of these tasks. We also talked about how to track and to measure the task flow, or to measure the Kanban effectiveness. So by having the Kanban teams that tracked two key metrics, including the cycle time, where it defines how long it takes from a task to move through the whole workflow. Also, they tracked the lead time, where it shows the total time from task request to complete. Teams uses the flow efficiency charts and cumulative flow diagrams to identify the problem areas and to optimize their processes. Also looked at the common pitfalls the Kanban team can avoid by allowing too many tasks in progress, where we have implemented the work progress limits which can lead to inefficiency by implementing the and ignoring, let's say, the WIP or the work in progress limits. It can lead to inefficiency by setting up a work in progress limits and defining a criteria for all of these, let's say, stages, how the task can be moved from the other. They can have an efficient, let's say, source tracking. As I mentioned, that Kanban isn't just a system, it's a visual tool. But also there are some of these tools that it enable having or utilizing the digital Kanban tools. So the teams who uses tools and platforms like Jira or Trello can manage the Kanban boards in a more digital way. And the advantages of using these digital ways is to have a real-time updates for some of these remote teams who cannot sit in one place. Also, by having an automated tracking to track the tasks movement and integration sometimes with the project management tools. The best practices we talked about is to keep it simple, maintain a clear and simple workflows with that needs or that meets the let's say the project goals. Also by enforcing and ensuring that the work in progress limit is being set to avoid the bottlenecks and to avoid the team from having overload during the implementation, and having a regular monitoring and